Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
So Ticket Butts Thursday, we just launched Text Drive to 312-591-8300. And just a reminder, you can't put an emoji with it. We love that you put emojis with your texts in, but it doesn't get you entered. And then you got to do it again. Kenzie has to text it back and say like, nope, just take the emoji out, please, and text again.
And it's funny because sometimes I'll be like, oh, make sure you text Drive. And they'll be like, I just did. I'm like, yes, with 14 explanation points and an emoji and the little car driving. It doesn't work.
We appreciate your excitement, your enthusiasm for the Deftones tickets. But yeah, just the word drive, D-R-I-V-E, to 312-591-8300. Now, we have another one of these kind of posts that somebody asking one of our crew members, are they the a-hole? And this came during a boss's team building exercise, which has been a pretty big buzz for about 15 years. I think consultants go in the workplaces and go, you got to have team building, make the team, everybody together, and get in on it. So, and sometimes they're actually super fun. And I love it when you do that with your people you work with, and it's really cool. And sometimes they go awry, like this one. So this comes from one of our crew members. So last week, my boss, they actually put 42-year-old male, organized a mandatory team building exercise for our department at an escape room. I guess those are still popular. They had this kind of big peak escape rooms, like three or four.
I love escape rooms.
Do you?
Yeah.
I guess they still exist in a way. I know there was one over here in Streeterville somewhere.
They very much exist. I think they're a mainstay of society now, Brian.
Yeah.
It's no longer a fad.
There's a lot of great Groupons, too. If you want to do an escape room and you hop on a Groupon, you will find one near you at a deal, baby.
For some reason, I just thought they were going to kind of go the way of...
The dodo?
Like the bird?
I was going to say Kmart. Yeah, I was going to say the way of Kmart. Be a little more relevant.
Like an asteroid's going to take it out?
Because I just thought they were going to be hot for a while, and then people are going like, okay, I don't want to get trapped in a room trying to get out. If you've never been to an escape room, you have to work together to get out of the room.
But they're fun. They're like themed rooms. Like I had to escape a haunted cabin.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Was that in this area somewhere, a Schaumburg or something? Woodfield Mall, maybe?
I think I went to a place called Sweet Escape, is what they called it, I think. It was a while ago. Yeah, it was attached to a mall. But yeah, it was in a haunted cabin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, it's cool. I'm glad they're thriving. I didn't know.
So when you don't get out in time, what they do a lot of times is they walk you through the entire room. Like this would have led to this would have led to that, right? So our hour is up. We did not escape. We're stuck in the room. They go through it. Boy, were we not close. We would have needed like another 3 hours. It took them like 45 minutes to run through the rest of the stuff we would have had to do.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
You know what this ties into? I'm glad we're reading this today because Case is reviewing Saw at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Kind of like an escape room, Case. No spoiler.
I know nothing about it.
I know.
I don't know what that means.
Kind of like that. Kind of. Anyway.
Have you been to an escape room, Brian?
Yes.
Oh, have you done well?
No.
Okay.
But that's because I didn't work well with the people I was with.
Oh, you're selfish?
I wanted to lead, and they wouldn't let me lead. And so it's kind of like this person here. I thought I could lead them to victory, and I was wrong, but I really thought I wanted to lead the thing. Mm-hmm. So this was a woman who's 29 years old, and her boss, 42, organized the mandatory team-building exercise for an escape room. And this
it's always fun when you throw the word mandatory on anything. It really keeps it light.
But this girl, who crew member, says she loves puzzles and escape rooms. She's done like 20 of them, and she's really good at them. The thing is, my boss is kind of a, quote, control freak type who loves being the smartest person in the room. And at the start, he made it clear he was, quote, leading the escape room. This is really about me, I think, this thing all of a sudden.
Did Kenzie write this about you?
Where did you find this?
All of a sudden, this is hitting way too close to home.
She's like, leave my phone out when I go to the bathroom one time.
So he said he was leading, and fine, she said. But the thing is, he wasn't great at it. He kept overthinking the clues. This is really about me. He kept overthinking the clues and barking out bad ideas that were going nowhere. Meanwhile, I had already mentally solved half the puzzles, but kept quiet because I didn't want to be that person that takes over.
It helps.
Very good employee.
No, that's ass. I would have been like, I want to win.
Yeah, about 15 minutes in, the rest of the team was getting visibly frustrated. People were just standing around while my boss argued with himself over a clue I'd already figured out. So I casually solved a few puzzles and unlocked the door while he was rambling. He immediately got annoyed and said I was, quote, ruining the team experience. And needed to, quote, let others contribute. Meanwhile, this poor girl has kept quiet the whole time and knew all the answers. At that point, I backed off, she says, but the team kept stalling and we were running out of time. Finally, with only 10 minutes left in an escape room, I couldn't take it anymore and solved the last puzzle, opening the exit door. We beat the room, but barely. Everyone cheered, except for my boss, who was clearly upset. He muttered something about how the point was to work together and not, quote, show off.
What's it, a dunk contest? How are you showing off in an escape room?
I think she worked together to get him out of there before they lost. Later that day, he pulled me aside and said I'd, quote, ruined the team building experience by not letting the group figure things out on their own. I told him I was just trying to help because we were falling behind, but he accused me of undermining him in front of the team. Now my coworkers are saying I did nothing wrong and we would have failed if I hadn't stepped in, but my boss is still giving me the cold shoulder. It's making things at work awkward. It's now she's saying, asking the question to us, is she the a-hole for solving the escape room too quickly and stepping on my boss's toes? Should I have let us fail to spare his ego?
No. Here's my, you know me. Whenever there's a team building thing, I'm like, because I worked at 2 places. And the problem is they would do something maybe with like alcohol involved or something. We're all going to this bar, team building.
Those are fun.
Yeah. Somebody always gets drunk and says something, and now no one likes each other. And I'm like, I've had the exact opposite, very much like her. Every time there's been a team building event, we've all left going, we don't like each other. We were fine at work before this. We've now learned too much about each other, and this is not good.
Yeah, but I like that, see?
No, I don't.
I like all the tea. Give it to me.
I don't want to be part of it.
I love team building things. I had a boss one time that was similar to what this girl's describing, and we did a paintball fight of all things. Now, this would not go through HR today.
No kidding.
Shooting paintballs at each other.
Mandatory painful outing.
And it was the same
Like,
thing.
I'm pregnant.
Get out there.
Get your ass out there.
This boss I had was kind of a hard ass like this guy and came in full camo to the paintball event and those boots. He definitely went to like Belmont Army Surplus beforehand and loaded up with gear. And we all sitting there in the fight. And at one point, he was like the last man standing on his team. And I had him in my scope, in my sights. But I thought much like her at this point, it's my boss. I don't want to take him out. So I took my gun in the air and fired it in the air like in Saving Private Ryan. I didn't want to kill the last guy or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
I've seen this movie now. I know what you're talking about.
I shot my gun in the air to just maybe give him a warning that I could see him. But
Why?
Because
Poor bird.
I didn't want to take. The bird there was no bird.
It was like on a family vacation. Bam.
As far as I know, no birds or kids that were looking in the park got hurt.
Gosh.
But right when I did that, my buddy just aimed in and leveled him and shot him 48 times. Just kept plastering him and took him out. So I wasn't the bad guy there, and I still stand by what I did there. And that guy, he didn't last much longer at the station after that.
That's a problem.
Was your boss frustrated because he lost?
He was always very upset. He was very mad. His ego was bruised, and he thought he was the king. He thought he could do paintball and then show us all what was up with paintball.
I would have leveled his ass. This is why I get in trouble.
Yeah.
I'd be like, headshot.
Yeah.
Bam.
I don't know, Case, if you ever had, like, when you worked at Lids, did they ever have a team building exercise?
Yeah, I've never told this story before.
Oh, good one.
I got into a shoving match with an employee at Lids once. It's maybe the closest I've ever come to getting in an actual fight.
Push each other around.
Yeah, I'm not proud of
And
that.
you were a rising star at Lids.
Oh, well, and this is right around the time that I actually debuted at the store at Water Tower Place and really made my mark fast. People had
During
never
your
seen.
rookie season?
That's exactly. It was during my rookie month.
Yeah.
And my boss came in and goes, "All right, it's a little like what you're doing with the White Sox right now, Brian." He goes, "I have 2 tickets to Chicago Bulls, Golden State Warriors." And we're talking when it was still Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant. This is the best team in basketball. He goes, "I've got 2 tickets to this game at the end of the week. Whoever," it was a mix of sales and customization rate. And as I've tried to explain, part of the Lids business is not only buying a hat or a jersey, but then getting something embroidered on it. Whether you want your name or a player signature or a nickname like Sir Smokes a Lot, you can do whatever you want.
Hold on. Was that a common stitching at Lids?
A common stitching, whether it was Sir Smokes a Lot 420 or Sir Smokes a Lot 69.
Oh, God.
I was constantly putting it on hats.
And then every time they were like, get ready, buckle up for the hilarious gem about to drop on that ass.
Exactly.
Yes.
God, do I want to go to Lids thing and get a hat that says Sir Smokes a Lot on
They
it?
probably just print up 20. Just like make their day easier.
We've got a few in the back. Let me go get one.
Oh, it's great.
So, it's not only we had to sell the most, but we also had to hit this certain level of customization rate. And there was me and there was another kid my age at the store, a teenager, hungry, ready to climb up the corporate rank, ready to sell some flat bill hats to some divorced dads.
Wow.
And we wanted these tickets so badly, and there came a time where I greeted the customer when he came in the store, but he's the one that closed the sale. And so we got into an argument over whose sale it actually was. And I am not kidding you when I say it got physical, it got violent, and we had to be separated in the store.
Wow.
These are like kids.
I know. This is what you get for team building. You get a bunch of selfish people that let out the worst sides of themselves.
That's what I'm saying. I never left a team building activity. Everyone it destroyed the team.
Well,
everyone wants a new job.
I'm unlike you
Don't build
guys.
the team.
I like team building because usually it does mean free pizza
because
and beer.
you're usually the boss.
No,
You're
I'm not the boss.
You act like the boss. You're like, this is my escape room, and that's why.
I do act like the boss.
Exactly.
That's right. Well, 312-591-8300. Check in with any kind of boss experiences maybe similar to this to help our crew member who had a problem in an escape room with her boss because she knew too much and he didn't. 312-591-8300. Check in with your experience with your boss, and it can be a good one too.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We just had a crew member send in an email to us about a team building exercise that really went wrong in an escape room because the boss was a control freak and she won, and now her boss isn't talking to her at all because she showed him up. Now, a lot of people checking in. 815 said, team building experience with me. Corporate management sent us to a Cubs game, and we got white girl wasted and spent about $300 each on our company cards for Ubers. There were 7 of us. So they built the company for about $2,100. I like that. That's why I like it. Finally take advantage of the company a little bit and use it for beer money and pizza. Now, is it Derek? Derek checking in from Geneva. Derek, ahoy, what's going on?
Hey, how goes it?
Oh, what's your story with team building?
So team building, I work for an amazing company. We have figured out team building down to a T. So we're all in outside sales, so we don't see each other often. So when we do, we focus on just creating relationships with each other. So that way we have somebody to call when we're out in the field. But we have gone deep sea fishing in Lake Michigan, paintballing. We take a trip to the Caribbean every single year, company paid. We have gone to Top Golf multiple times. So every single year, no matter what, we do a Top Golf thing randomly through the year. We do Lake Michigan fishing trip randomly through the year. And Badlands.
All right, now you're just flexing.
And everything. Yeah, I'm bragging. I am realistically bragging, but it's awesome, and management is super cool, and they're all about, hey, what can we do to make sure that, you guys get little additional things throughout the year just to keep you motivated and pumped and, able to talk to your coworkers and make relationships with them.
I like to hear that story. I like to hear a company's doing that for you.
Okay, listen, Mira, I would like to say, I take it back. If this company wants to send us to the Bahamas or something, I will do the group.
You'll quit here and go work there?
No, I'm saying if our company wants to do that, I will team build there.
That's very good
I
team.
will do it there.
It's very brave of you.
I know. I can admit when I'm wrong, and if they want to send us on vacations to bond, I will do that.
Derek, thanks for checking in. I'm glad you work for an awesome company. Now, I guess a final text coming in here from Kurt saying, Kurt from the South Side, escape room equals marriage with no escape. Jeez. Well,
That's
thanks
tough, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Thanks, though, bud. I appreciate your positive outlook. So if you missed the Deftones keyword this hour for Ticket Blitz Thursday, we'll give it out again here in 6 minutes to get you in the sold-out Deftones show at the Madhouse. Stay right here. We'll give you that keyword in 6 minutes.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
That's the band that stole Riot Fest, in my opinion. Sum 41, their final Chicago performance, allegedly. And Derek Wibley spoke to Lauren at Riot Fest. You can find that at Q101.com. The link to that on our YouTube channel. All the interviews from Riot Fest are up on there. And while you're doing that, make sure you just check out the Brian and Kenzie podcast because we have some other interviews of ourselves on there as well. But I just think for a band that was saying this is it and we're done, I'm not saying they would ever phone it in, but they They reached levels that I've seen that band probably 6 or 7 times. I thought Sum 41 just was, I couldn't believe it. It was still light out when they were playing. And they weren't even near a headliner, but I thought they stole Riot Fest. I really do.
It was so funny because, Kenzie, by that point, you were up front trying to get a good spot for Fall Out Boy, and
Yes.
Brian and I were in the back, and he just keeps on going. He's like, I have to get to Derek. I have to tell him not to retire. You're too good. Somebody has to tell him to think about what he's doing.
I know he texted me and said, yell it. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm too busy biting people to get to the front.
That's right. Yeah, I was just about probably, in fact, I was on my way over to get bitten in the suicidal tendencies pit at a different stage. But I know he's not like retiring, but they're leaving the band. He's leaving the band to do something different. I don't think the band wants him to leave. I think they want to keep doing this.
Well, yeah, imagine if you're the bassist of Sum 41. You probably want Derek to keep wanting to be in Sum 41.
And he keeps
Like,
writing.
this was going pretty good, Derek.
He can keep writing Sum 41 type songs that are awesome. I don't get it. I mean,
The bass is like, I'll learn them. You want new songs? I'll play. Whatever you write, man. I'll do it.
or is it more like, I'll start putting the cap on my toothpaste at the hotel room. I promise I will not be that anymore. I'll
Like,
not
you
be that
wanna-
guy.
You want to sum to something else? You want to be sum 61? I'll do it,
Yeah.
man.
God,
What?
they should not stop. I know they've been together 25 years. They should not stop. They're still young. They can keep going as Sum 41 and let Derek do a side project. That's all I got to say. I thought they stole Riot Fest.
They were great.
5 minutes away from a new keyword for Deftones. More music for you at the United Center, sold out. So 5 minutes away, we'll give you a new keyword. But some more music and entertainment news. Sean Diddy Combs. We talked about the $1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil that they found, the FBI, when they raided his house. He has a good excuse. His lawyer blames Costco for selling it in bulk because he wanted some baby oil and he wanted a lot, maybe not 1,000 bottles, but that's what he ended up buying. And he said he buys it in bulk at Costco, and that's why there's so many in there. It's not this whole big, horrible scene you're envisioning in your heads when you hear 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which I do have horrible scenes in my head envisioned when I hear 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But yeah, I was just trying to save money. Diddy, is worth almost $1 billion, at least at this point. Wanted to save money on baby oil and lube, so he went to Costco. I go to Costco weekly. I've never seen lube. I've seen baby oil in there. I've never seen lube.
And when they sell the baby oil, can you only buy a pallet or can you buy like 3 bottles like the normal?
So a lot of times it's linked to 2. They have a little
Yes.
plastic thing on top, so 2.
So it's not per pallet.
He didn't have to buy 1,000.
I see. Maybe it is Costco's fault if they only sell it in pallets.
How dare you blame Costco? How dare you, Sean Diddy Combs? Keep you in jail for that alone. Trying to disparage the name of
Comfort
Costco.
Costco. The innocence of Costco.
Yes. Also here in music entertainment news, Disney Plus is cracking down on password sharing. So first it was Netflix, and then it was HBO Max. Now they're cracking down. Now they'll let you add one new member to your account. It costs an additional $6.99 a month for Disney Plus Basic and $9.99 for Disney Plus Premium. If you've been sharing your password or someone else's, that'll probably end this week. This week, you're just going to see
But
someone.
I'm just getting into all the Disney Halloween stuff.
Yeah, I know that's
just
the
started
problem.
to crack that open. I watched Halloween Town last night.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Are you stealing somebody's account?
Yes. Not steal it, like they're aware, but I can't afford all of these. So like we buy, and we're sharing. We have it kind of split down the middle. So I'm paying for Hulu and Apple TV and Netflix. And then they have Disney and like a few other ones. So we're sharing. So I'm paying for some. I can't afford like 7+ streaming platforms. It's a lot.
I know I'm getting ripped off right now, but it's my own fault because when I have Verizon with my phone, and when me and Megan both got our phones lined up, they said you're going to get Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus for free.
Now that only lasts a little bit of time though.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm okay.
Yeah. Forever. Do you think you're going to get it forever?
The way the guy sold it to me, I was like, he said forever.
It's like a year.
I think he said forever.
I don't think they would never say if you get this forever. You don't have to play for these 3 streaming platforms.
I remember hearing the words in perpetuity.
No. I'm getting ripped off. He's like, so that was 7 years ago. No.
Well, I need all that. So Megan pays for Netflix and Amazon Prime, which is all the the streaming of that too. Then I pay for Max, YouTube TV, Hulu.
You
God.
guys pay for separate streaming platforms? That's not just linked in the,
Well, it was when we got married. It was
family account?
when it was married. It was on. She already had those, so I use them now. You know what I mean?
But isn't it all together?
It has her name on the TV when we go into Netflix.
Oh, that's embarrassing. You use Megan's Netflix account? Hey, Brian, turn in your man card. Good Lord.
Oh, just wait. Just wait until Harper. I give it about another year until she starts creating accounts. There's like 47 account options when we log into Disney. Because Tristan's like, Tristan 1, Marino 2, Mom and Dad. That, like his stuffed animal named Mark. Like, it's like, stop making all these like account selections. It's like 100 of them.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, before we get to the White Sox, we got to pour one out. This morning, right when the show began, Derrick Rose announced he's retiring from the NBA after 16 seasons, 16 years in the NBA. Yeah, he's okay. He's fine. He's good. But all I think about, especially as a diehard Chicago Bulls fan, is what if the MVP season, the youngest MVP in NBA history, came right here from Inglewood in Chicago, worked his way all the way up and got to the Bulls, his hometown team, and was so close to getting a title. And okay, then the injury. What if? I used to be an Adidas guy.
Yes.
And I loved, all I wore up until that point was Adidas high tops. That's all I wore.
Tracksuits too?
Tracksuits as well.
You were about that three-stripe life.
Did you have the pull-off pants with all the buttons?
I had both.
I can just see Brian getting to the local park to play basketball and ripping his pants off to be in his shorts.
And then he's wearing a full uniform underneath.
Absolutely.
I am telling you, you go back to old Q101 and see some old pictures of the interviews I did back in the day in the Sludge Nation days. And you'll see me in Adidas track pants. The pull-offs, the rip-offs.
Oh, I don't doubt it, Brian.
And a lot of
I'm not
that,
here to question you.
the second Derrick Rose got his injury, and I'm not disparaging Adidas. I'm just saying there was a lot of forums I've read that he should have been wearing Nikes.
You did your own research.
I went to dives that you wouldn't believe for days on the internet. I said, you can't tell me Adidas is bad. Please don't tell me that's what caused Derrick Rose's injury. And I stopped wearing Adidas high tops. I haven't worn them since. I own no
So
Adidas.
really, this affected you more than anybody.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Derrick Rose still made $200 million in the NBA. He just never was the same again. And the what ifs of Chicago Bulls finally having, okay, we went to the lull. We had the Tyson Chandler. We had that era. And then we didn't get after Jordan. And then
Luol Deng, Kirk Heinrich, Tyrus Thomas.
a lot. Carlos Boozer.
Carlos Boozer, Brad Miller.
My guy, Joakim Noah.
Of course, your guy, famously, Joakim Noah.
I love that team. I loved it. I wanted that team deserved the title.
Ben Gordon. I don't know if we said Ben Gordon.
I didn't say Ben Gordon.
He sounds like a NASCAR driver.
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon. So close. Not so bad.
Famous family, huh?
But I stopped wearing Adidas. I'm not sure I'm right. I stopped wearing Adidas after that. I have no Adidas right now.
Nothing.
Nothing.
What do you have?
Nike. I
was hoping you'd be honest and say Eddie Bauer. That's what you wear
Oh,
all the
well,
time.
I'm talking about shoes, Nike. I wear Eddie Bauer shirts, of course.
You have Nike shoes on right now?
I have Nikes on right now.
Get them up. Let me see them. Throw that leg up there.
Oh, my hamstring. These are the Pegasus. These are great.
The Pegasus.
It's called the Pegasus. They're like
the Hercules?
They're like walking on pillows. You walk like walking on pillows. I got them at the Rosemont Fashion Outlets for $80 off at the Nike store up there.
$80.
They should be like $160. I got them for $80.
Stop it. Shut your mouth.
You sound like Frank in Old School talking about his weekend plans. we have time. We're going to go to Lowe's.
Yeah.
Busy weekend.
Baseball Saturday.
Bath and Beyond. Not sure we're gonna have time. Get there. So that's my Derrick Rose, memory that I stopped wearing Adidas because Adidas may have hurt him. But I like Adidas. I love Adidas, and I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. But it's been 11, 12 years since I've worn Adidas.
You can forgive him. I don't think it's gonna ruin your athletic future if you wear them.
Well, I did it as an homage because the what if of what it could have been.
Yes.
But Adidas, I'm a Nike guy now.
Yeah, it's too late for you.
It's too bad. It's too bad. Well, it's way too late for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We know that.
It's not too late for the White Sox to blow the game today and just end this whole long national nightmare.
I'm proud of them, and you guys are not respecting them enough. They're on a winning streak.
The respect I have was for our listeners, our fans, to get to the games. And I've bought tickets for Tuesday night, $124, even upgraded the guy to first baseline, our guy Carl. And then Tom, last night, who I knew as he said, just get me in the park. I'll get down there. And he
Okay.
did. He got 11 rows from the dugout of the White Sox. And we had him. What level was he in?
We had him in the 500s, and he got down to the 100s.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Today, I'm really going broke here. This is not funny. I mean, my marriage is in jeopardy of the conversations I'm having on the credit card.
Funny. Does it matter to you?
I know you think it's funny.
Well, I do want to emphasize that, and I say this as the resident White Sox fan here. I want them to lose. You want them to lose. Kenzie is, of course, the beacon of positivity that she always is.
Hey.
But you, just to be clear, you really are paying for these tickets out of your own pocket. You're not being reimbursed by the station. You asked, They told you no.
Yep.
Yes.
You are doing this for the people. You are a man of the people. And because the three of us can't go to the games, I have a doctor's appointment today. I can't get out of or else I'd be there.
All night? You have a doctor's appointment?
It's a day game today.
Oh.
No. Good question. Good question.
Fair.
I was like, really?
Yeah, fair.
I thought it was like a sleep apnea thing when they hook you up to all this stuff.
No, it's a day
I'm
game.
like, are you going to be in tomorrow? It's colonoscopy? What's going on?
He's going to be in an iron lung.
I see. Day game.
Boy, your snoring is really bad.
I know. Oh, my God.
But you are paying out of pocket because we just want a crew member to experience history. We want them to lose before they go to Detroit. Well, they will inevitably lose. We want this to happen here. We want you to be a part of it. And Brian, I have to thank you for doing what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that. And the problem is, I thought it would happen Tuesday night and be over. And now I'm all in.
He told me when the microphone was off, this is the biggest mistake he's ever made in his entire life.
I saw this morning on Facebook, somebody tagged you in the picture of Joe Exotic, and he's like, I'm never going to financially recover from this, and it's you buying White Sox
That's my
tickets.
favorite meme ever.
And it's applied to me right now because I go home and we share a credit card. She goes like, so what's this $124? What's this $50? I go, it's all, I'm investing in us and the show in the future because we're taking care of the fans. And I'm going to do it one more time today. So Angela in Bridgeview, she won earlier at 7 o'clock. So she's going and hopefully she can wheeze down to the 11 rows from the dugout, just like Tom did last night. And it has to happen today. It's a beautiful day for a loss. 77 degrees and sunny out. Southside's going to be beaming. Pack the park and show Jerry Reinsdorf, you Sox fans down there, because I'm a Cubs fan, but show them and celebrate the loss. Scream cheering for the worst baseball team in history to make some change for next year.
So here's the deal. If they do win tonight, which good for them if they try hard.
Today.
Tonight. Wow.
Day
Son of a
game.
bitch.
Day game.
I'm just not a day game person. I can't handle it mentally. It's like I got to get home, feed my kids, then turn on baseball. I can't do all this.
Yeah, you can do it all while you do it
so
all.
Today, there is like a movement that maybe you should be a season ticket holder for the White Sox because they'd be in like the effing World Series next year.
Gee, who started that movement? You?
Yes. I invited you to join the Facebook page.
Let's go to petition.org.
Yeah, if you could sign it. I have to get a certain amount.
It's an interesting day because history goes for both teams playing today. Either the White Sox, so they'll be the worst team in Major League Baseball history with a loss, 121 losses, or the Angels will set the franchise record loss in a season for them at 96 losses, which sounds like a good baseball team at 96 losses.
I know, they're doing pretty good. If Megan leaves you, can I still hang out with her, though?
I'm sure with the money that's on the, I'll pay off the card before I leave. You guys will have a free credit card to go play with.
Because I don't want you to be like, you can't talk to her anymore, because it's going to suck for me.
So you get Megan?
I want Megan.
Okay, you can have her.
Thank you.
If Megan leaves you, can I still hang out with her?
Fine.
Can she host the show?
Fine, you can all have her. Fine. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. White Sox, please end this misery today with a loss, and I mean that from my heart.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We'll get to your takeaways here in a second. Want to remind you, change is the Ticket Blitz Thursday word right now, active for about another 15 minutes. That's for the Deftones tickets sold out at the United Center from our great partners, Live Nation, our friends, our family, and Q101 and Brian and Kenzie. So the word is change, CHANGE, to 312-591-8300. Text that. Next 15 minutes, you got to get it in. So, takeaways from the show. Case, what do you got?
Joe in Downers Grove checked in. His takeaway from today is, what is that? The iconic Ben Bradley line, as we learned this morning.
This is when WGN TV's Ben Bradley was interviewing Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, and here's that audio.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
He was waiting for something else.
Oh, he's the best. So good. Kenzie, what do you got?
Takeaway, Louie Lou. Just when I thought Brian was starting to become a likable person, who cares about his marriage? He's so selfish.
Jeez.
Wow.
Good Lord. Who's that?
That is so funny.
Everybody should care about my marriage.
I like that you're married.
Thank you.
I like your wife. She's
Good
great.
Lord.
Calm down, Case. Keep it in your pants.
Wow.
I like your wife.
Oh. And finally, a takeaway comes from Fred in 708. Now this is setting the tone here. He's redoing the line from Twister that we play all the time when Jonas comes into the scene and Bill Paxton talks about him being an evil, evil villain.
A nightcrawler, if
A
you will.
nightcrawler. Son of a bitch. It's Jonas. So here's Fred wanting me to recreate it in the same similar voice from Twister. Takeaway from Fred. Tiffany Henyard. That son of a bitch. Who is that, honey? She used to be a criminal. Then she went on and got herself elected mayor. She's in it for the money, not the power. Well, Case, what's on the podcast?
Well, Tiffany Henyard is back on her BS. We uncovered some more uncomfortable details coming out of the village of Dalton right now. Tiffany Henyard is at it again. If you've missed updates about her, trust me, we have you covered on the podcast today. Also, we learned Brian is going to go broke trying to fund the dreams of White Sox fans. Very interesting, very detailed sports report today about
Trying to save my marriage, by the way, by sending the fans to the game to see history.
Very nice. of
Sorry,
you.
I'd like to save it.
No, you're selfish.
By the way, there's a slight chance I can be talked into flying you to Detroit for the Tigers game if they actually win today to get you there for the game. And I am paying for all this. This is not good. But I care about you to death.
I'm so conflicted. I want the White Sox to lose. I want them to break the record.
No, I gotta see how this pans out.
I also want you to send somebody to Detroit.
If the White Sox win today, you should be here at 6 in the morning tomorrow at the beginning of the show. It's going to be ugly. Megan, it's going to be ugly. But I care about you.
Well, that and so much more on the Brian and Kenzie podcast today. That is found wherever you currently listen to your podcasts.
Spotify, Apple, and of course, the Q101 app. It's free to download. It makes it super easy to get to the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.